Assalamualaikum, ismi Gloria wa Rais Jama' Ad-Dawl Al-Arabiya fi hadha sana. Hi, my name is Gloria Chung and I'll be a head chair for the Arab League in BMUN 64. My vice chairs this year will be Zoe Bruins and Alex Welford, and we're super excited to bring to you the first ever Arab League in BMUN. This year, the Arab League will be covering two main issues that are most pressing in the Middle East. The first one will be the question of the crisis in Yemen right now with the whole security situation. And the second thing we'll be doing is cultural preservation in times of armed conflict. So things like what ISIS is doing in Palmyra right now, as well as what the Taliban did in 2001. So those kind of issues. So I'm a third year in Berkeley, double majoring in political science and Middle Eastern studies. I'm on my third year of Arabic, and I've also been in BMUN for 3 years. Outside of BMUN, I'm a senior editor in the Berkeley Political Review, so I do a lot of things to do with politics, especially in the Middle East. And over the summer, for example, I did political consulting in a company in DC, and we specialized in nonprofit organizations in Afghanistan and Pakistan. Prior to that, the summer before that, I was backpacking in Morocco for 2 weeks and was also studying the history of Arab conquest from 700s to 1432. So pretty much all I do is what my topic is about, and I'm super excited to talk about it and share it with you guys. So this year I chose the crisis in Yemen as well as the cultural preservation, the question of cultural preservation in the Middle East, simply because I think that the region's going through a huge political transition, and one of the big questions we have to deal with is how do we address crisis and civil war and change in a region that's always been dominated by autocracies. So that's why Yemen is so important. But in the process of moving forward and looking at change, we also have to look at the past and how do we protect the past and how do we keep all these memories in a time of transition where people are trying to get rid of old things and really assert their power. And this is why I think these two topics are so important and so interlinked. Obviously, I would have loved to talk about the Arab Spring 3 years ago, 4 years ago, but now we're in 2015 and this is what's most relevant and what's most pressing. I think dealing with the question of ISIS from a different point of view will really give the delegates a lot of perspective, and I really hope that we can address all kinds of different elements of the Arab League in the Middle East in our committee this year. So when researching the topic, just any topic that has to do with the Middle East, I highly recommend delegates look at different sources that are not Western media. So look beyond your BBCs and New York Times and Guardian, and look at maybe even Al Jazeera. And if you can, look at Al Arabiya, and any kind of basically local news would really help give perspective. Keep in mind that there's always bias and government funding when it comes to things like that, but it's always good to know what's the official narrative and rhetoric and really bring that perspective into your understanding of the region. I also think that when it comes to these issues, it's easy to think about it from what we're most comfortable with, but we really have to try and empathize with what countries in those regions have lived with traditionally and what they find most easy to comprehend, and really try and empathize with those perspectives and portray it as accurately as possible. Even if it's not what you believe in, it's what they believe in, and most importantly, is what you have to show as a delegate. And so I think it's a challenge, but I think my delegates will all be ready for it if they think about it that way.